Welcome to Sheffield, North England. This is Nick from Stridewise.com, where we look at casual and durable menswear and footwear. And in the 2020s, the line between casual and dressy is blurring more than ever. And here to address this growing part of the market is the luxury handmade sneaker. And you might be wondering, what makes a sneaker the most casual and most inexpensive kind of shoe there is into a luxury item? And the answer lies in several elements of the design that include leathers that take up to a year to produce, really handmade components, and even a resoleable design that makes the price tag kind of justifiable. Our host, Mr. Dominik Goral, is going to show you through the process and you can decide for yourself. Tell us about the family business side of this, because the company is called Goral. Your name is Dominik Goral. You have multiple siblings and parents in this building as well.
So it's my great-grandfather, Fanciest Goral. So he started it in 1936 in Poland. It's more kind of formal shoes, and it was a little cobbler doing for kind of the local market. Obviously, it went through World War where we had to stop the production. Then it got really hard to get components as well. My dad, he took over in 1989. We moved to the UK in 2006, shortly after Poland joined the EU. Started from scratch, I would say, from here. When we started doing a lot more work for private label, COVID hit, and a lot of these brands disappeared. It was like, okay, we need to be self-sufficient. So why don't we go directly to the customer? You know, we've got the knowledge of shoemaking. It's just like, the front end, we just need to work on.
The leather comes in, and then what's the next step of its journey?
So it would come into the clicking room.
Walk us through what you do here. This is the clicking process. What goes into this?
So you've got to check the quality of the leather prior to the clicking. So the leather stretches downwards. So we try and cut how it would stretch. So we always start from the bottom of the leather, the bottom of the animal. That's the hardest leather. Does it stretch because it's the thickest?
After the pieces get cut, where do they go?
Take them upstairs. We call it preparation rooms.
You got to emboss the parts that are going to have branding, draw lines on it for where it's going to get sewn.
Yeah.
And you skive it to thin the leather in certain parts to make it easier to sew together and make it more comfortable in certain places.
Yes.
So you could say that the lasting is maybe the most important part because it might be the most dramatic transformation. It's when something that's 2D becomes 3D. And there's a few different approaches to lasting a shoe, to stretching it over the last. Some people use a machine, some people don't use machines, and some people use multiple machines. You've got 3 machines, is that right, for stretching it over the toe and the side?
So we've got 2. So we've got the toe laster, which kind of stretches the toe, and then we've got a back part.
It seems like using multiple machines of the lasting sort of helps to bridge the gap between hand lasting and machine lasting.
It goes sole press, and then it goes to the sidewall stitch. We have 2 tunnels as well. So we've got kind of cold tunnel. So at the end, we'll put it through a cold tunnel. And then we've got a warm tunnel, which is we've done the toe laster, back laster. It goes through a warm, very hot tunnel.
The heat helps the leather conform to the shape of the last more quickly.
Correct, yeah.
Otherwise, you have to leave it on a shelf for 2 weeks or something, right?
Yeah. Different leather will have different kind of temperature going through.
Oh.
The veg stand will be very low.
What are we seeing here?
So we roughen the bottom of the shoe, called sole bonding.
That's right, you rough
the excess.
Yeah, when you rough it, it's easier to glue, right?
Yes.
Most sneakers are cemented.
Yeah.
That means glued.
Yeah, just glued together.
Adhesive, yeah.
Yeah. We had a Blake stitch machine, which we were using for the formal shoes and stuff. It was like, okay, how can we utilize that and make the sneakers construction a bit better?
All right, so this room and these 2 machines is kind of the whole big deal with Goral and this very unusual, if not unique, way of making their sneakers. This is where it gets Blake stitched. This is a Blake stitch machine. Blake stitching is more common on dressier, but less hard-wearing shoes that are still resoleable. They make with some excess leather. They fold underneath it. Then they Blake stitch through this. So they stitch through the upper that's been glued under the lasting board here, the insole if you want. Then it goes back to the last room. The last gets put on it again. They put the cup sole underneath it. Then they press it. They put it through the cold machine that sort of freezes it to an extent, kind of solidifies it in place. Comes back to this room. Then the cup sole gets stitched through the sidewall stitch. Here we've encountered Ella doing some resoles. And this is actually kind of the whole game here. This is indeed a sneaker that's getting resold. You can when it's made well enough, when the upper is good enough, when it's not a standard construction and so on. And in your instance, these sneakers, because they're sidewall stitched, they're made with a cup sole, comes up on the sides. And this is also why, if you want to get the sneaker resoled, you got to send it back here because you're the one who's got these soles.
Yeah, to match the last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people actually do that. And here it is right here. This is like an old worn-in pair of sneakers that someone's loved, and they are indeed getting it resold, which is really cool. So Dominik took a call, but I managed to find another Goral sibling. This is the third that I found in this establishment. This is Julia.
This is where all the magic happens. So we use air, pressurized air, to blow off any specks of dust, anything that might have stuck to the shoe during the production. We then clean the shoes and light any threads that may have been left over. And then we wrap it in tissue paper, and then we just put them in the box.
Beautiful. When there are expensive brands, try and find out all this stuff about how it's made and if it has like these components, this kind of construction, if it's made in a place that matters to you, that kind of stuff. But there are good reasons to pay more for a pair of sneakers, and there are bad reasons to pay more for a pair of sneakers. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But there are some good ones. This is Dominik Goral. His shoe business is in the description below. I'm Nick. Subscribe for more videos like this and check out Dom's site below. Thanks so much for letting me use factory.
Thanks.